Welcome guys to a new One Punch Man video. Today I'm ranking all the current S-Class heroes from weakest to strongest. And when I say strongest, I'm not only referring to physical strength of the characters. Also take note that this list is based on where I'm at in the webcomic, and that is currently the Saitama vs Garo fight, about halfway through. If you're new to the channel and enjoy One Punch Man content, make sure to subscribe to help me reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and expect more One Punch Man videos on the way. But for now, enjoy the video. In the 17th place, who I believe to be the current weakest, is Tank Top Master, currently S rank 16 I believe, who mainly relies on raw physical strength to win fights and to get his rank in the S class. He doesn't have too much going for him apart from his, expert hand-to-hand combat experience and his physical strength alone, but he does have the almighty power Tank Top magic, which is, quite powerful, and doesn't surprise me that he's in S class with this, Chadley attire. But as a whole, throughout the series, he faced Garo and kind of got stomped by Garo, a much weaker Garo in the earlier parts of his arc. So that was, big disappointment. That's mainly why his rank went down. Later on in the manga and the webcomic, he does improve a little bit, but not as much as some other characters. And I will take note that some characters in the lower parts of this list can be switched around, and there are arguments for either side for certain characters, especially rank 16, who I decided to place Puri Puri Prisoner. Throughout the story from his initial introduction, he has kind of been lacking for one of the S-Class heroes, being the weakest in my opinion, until recently where we've got to see a lot more of him, and we've got to see him improve a lot more than what I would say Tank Top Master has improved. He's another character with superhuman physical strength who mainly relies on this physical strength to win battles, but he also has his transformation and his angel style, which also has healing factors involved, which is much more than anything Tank Top Master can, release with his, raw physical strength. So with that alone, I would argue he's above Tank Top Master at this point in the story. At rank 15, I decided to go for Pig God. So Pig God, we haven't seen an extreme amount from him throughout the story. I wish we got more from him, which would be, pretty cool. He is currently S-Class rank 10, which is pretty impressive, but he doesn't have insane physical power or physical speed, and mostly relies on his, super hacks with the ability to eat insanely high level monsters such as disaster level monster demons. This takes him out with absolute ease, but he does struggle with dragon level threats somewhat, and then anything above that he kind of gets rolled in smoke. But still, Pig God is pretty powerful, has pretty decent hacks, so I think rank 15 is pretty reasonable. At rank 14, I decided to go for Metal Bat, who is currently rank 15 of the S class. Another character that relies on his physical power as well, but he also has an extreme buff mode, which is his fighting spirit, and you could argue even has a healing factor when entering this fighting spirit. And then with him having the ability to keep growing in strength as the fight progresses, if his opponent doesn't take him out quickly, he can get getting stronger and stronger and end up getting stronger than his opponent and eventually take them out. He has insane durability, speed, and reflexes once this strength gets getting increased. And when his anger reaches maximum, his power can be considered infinite and just keep growing and growing as the fight goes on, which is one of the most hacks powers in the whole series. You could argue he could go higher, but we need to see more of Metal Bat and what this the limits of this super crazy ability is to fully understand what he's truly capable of and whether he can go higher. At rank 13, we have Genos, a character with one of the most powerful destructive capabilities in the whole series, with him also having insane speed and pretty decent endurance as well, due to him being a cyborg and everything related to that, but not the most impressive endurance or tankiness because he does get kind of rolled in smoke a lot throughout the series. But also a character that has improved immensely from his first introduction, him having more and more firepower as the story has gone on and being one of the most powerful S-Class heroes there is to this day. He'll most likely improve as the story progresses and probably reach the top 5 in the story or in the S-Class at some point, but for now I think this spot is reasonable. At rank 12, I decided to go for Zombie Man, so a character who has one of the most hacks abilities in the whole series, which is his regeneration or immortality, you could describe it as, with him having the most endurance and stamina in the story, or top endurance and stamina in the story, excluding Saitama and some other characters in that regard. But still, having the ability to regen from almost getting absolutely obliterated, having insane endurance, insane stamina, and then also pretty decent strength and speed makes him pretty overpowered for the most part. He is an expert at hand-to-hand combat, has the ability to use weapons, doesn't mess around, gets shit done, and very experienced as well. So Zombie Man is, you know, pretty just hacked all around, so rank 12 I think is worthy. At rank 11 we have Watchdog Man, so another character that has superhuman physical capabilities and also dog attributes, and one of the characters that actually rolled the early stage of Garo, the same Garo or a stronger Garo that pretty much rolled tanked off Master, and then Watchdog Man was able to roll that very same Garo. So very powerful character throughout the story. We haven't seen everything he's truly capable of in the story, but he does have insane, you know, speed, stamina, fighting style, hand-to-hand combat considered the best, you know, the dog attributes as well. We've given him all the buffs regarding everything with that, agility, reflexes, and then strength to deal with people who are quite powerful. And he also has, if not one of the most experience in the whole S-Class, due to the amount of, you know, people he takes out and how the city he protects is considered one of the most dangerous with the amount of monsters that take place in that city, with him wiping them all out with relative ease. So yeah, Watchdog Man, an absolute beast. At rank 10 I decided to go for Child Emperor, with him being one of the smartest characters we have in the whole series of One Punch Man, with him using his tactics and gadgets and everything he has at his disposal to win fights, making him very powerful. He also plans out missions, is pretty, you know, decent at, you know, hand-to-hand combat even though he's just a child, but with his gadgets and everything else he can, you know, use, makes him one of the strongest in the series in my opinion. And then with his, you know, brain power as well, and with using all this equipment and setup, he would be able to take out a large amount of characters throughout the series. At rank 9 I decided to go for Atomic Samurai. So as you know, he has his sword which is, you know, insanely powerful, able to cut people at the atomic level. He doesn't have the most endurance, and once getting hit he will kind of get absolutely rolled, as shown when he got rolled by Black Sperm pretty easily by, you know, someone that kind of hard counters him, and does have insane issues regarding dragon level mysterious beings that kind of just roll him. But he does have pretty decent stamina, and when, you know, fully prepared and ready for a fight, his master swordsmanship really does shine, and with his atomic flashes and everything else he can pull out, he can kind of do some insane amount of damage to people, with him also having pretty decent speed as well. So yeah, pretty respectable character at rank 9. At rank 8 I decided to go for Super Alloy Darkshine. So we saw his fight against Garo where he ended up losing against Garo, but for Garo to even, you know, defeat Super Alloy Darkshine or to get him scared, he had to start to break his limiter, and shortly after that we saw that Garo became the first god level threat in the story, which is pretty impressive. And Super Alloy Darkshine was kind of one of the main reasons that led Garo to unleash his power, with him having one of the most insane durability in the whole series due to his insane muscles. We see Puri Puri Prisoner trying to, you know, punch him with all his force, with Super Alloy Darkshine not even noticing and taking no damage with his insanely powerful muscles. So yeah, very respectable character, very overpowered. At rank 7 I decided to go for Drive Knight, a more mysterious character that we haven't seen an insane amount from him throughout the story, but he does have one of the most all-around best fighting abilities in the series, having pretty decent speed, strength, endurance, stamina, reflexes, hacks and everything regarding that, which is pretty impressive. Later on in the webcomic he does get quite powerful, I have seen some things regarding that, so that's why I wanted to place him so high, but pretty much he is an all-around beast and worthy of rank 7. At rank 6 I decided to go for Flashy Flash, a character that has spent a lot of time with Saitama recently and being on par with Saitama's base speed, with him being one of the fastest characters in the series. Flashy Flash, it's in his name, he mostly relies on his speed and his superb techniques to defeat opponents. He is also one of the only S-Class heroes who has taken out not just one dragon level threat but 2 dragon level threats at the same time, which is one of the most impressive feats he has throughout the series. And also the amount of blows he tanked from Awakened Garo is much more than many of the other S-Class heroes as well, which is also quite impressive. So yeah, Flashy Flash is worthy of rank 6, but you could argue he's even worthy of rank 5. In rank 5 I decided to go for Bang. So between him and Flashy Flash I was kind of conflicted, but I did do some extra research to get a more accurate thing, with me finding that later stuff that Bang does is a little bit more impressive than Flashy Flash in my opinion, and also we could consider Prime Bang, who could be even stronger in my opinion. So for now I'm just going to leave Bang at rank 5, but there could be an argument made that Flashy Flash could take his position. But as a whole, one of the most insanely skilled characters throughout the series, insane speed and strength as well, being kinda hacks as well with his technique and martial art, which is, you know, pretty impressive. The first master of Garo as well has insane feats throughout the series and is an all-around absolute beast and pretty respectable character, respected by a lot of the other S-Class heroes, and there's a reason for that. At rank 4, I decided to go for Metal Knight. So we haven't seen an insane amount from Metal Knight, but based on how he'll most likely be a primary antagonist at some point in the story and the implied amount of destructive power he has, would, you know, argue that he has the most destructive power in all of the S-Class. An argument for that can actually be made, but it's based on assumptions and implied information about him. He is definitely worthy of rank 4, and hopefully we get to see more of him in the coming chapters as well, which will be absolute hype. At rank 3, no surprise, we have Tatsumaki, who has hacks to the max with psychokinesis powers, being one of the strongest characters throughout the series, not just including the S-Class heroes, and overall one of the most broken characters we have in the series of One Punch Man. Just look at her fight against Psycho Orochi, and then later on against Golden Sperm, how she tanked attacks from that insanely overpowered monster, and then everything else she pretty much has done throughout the story, just very overpowered and worthy of rank 3. At rank 2, I decided to go for Blast. As we know, the current rank 1 hero that will most likely be the closest character to Saitama in strength once we get to see what he's truly capable of. You could argue that maybe God will be stronger than Blast, but either way, Blast has been hyped up throughout the whole series, and the only real feat we have from him in the story is how he manhandled Elder Centipede to the brink of death 2 years prior to his actual defeat by Saitama. With that feat alone, it does put him above quite a few S-Class heroes, but with assumptions, with, you know, plot convenience, I bet Blast will be one of the strongest. And of course, rank 1 S-Class hero is King. Has, you know, hacks to the max as well, even more hacks to the max than what Tatsumaki has. If you read the webcomic, you've read the manga, you know what King is capable of. Apart from, you know, all his luck and all his insane abilities, he has the ability to summon Saitama. You know, that's this pretty much the Exodia of the One Punch Man verse. King, the king of games, can summon Saitama and one-shot everyone. Has, you know, one of the craziest and unique abilities, one of my personal favorite characters throughout the series, and it's pretty much the closest thing to God, probably even above God in the whole series in my opinion. And yep, King is this rank 1. No arguments can be made that he isn't rank 1. And yep, that is my ranking of the current S-Class heroes from weakest to strongest. Let me know down in the comments your opinion, and yep, that's it guys. Peace.